Welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Thomas West alongside Ryan Eakin. A 2-0 series lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sam Green on the mound. Take me through your thoughts before this one. This is a situation we didn't think we were going to be in, but there isn't a possibility of a series sweep this afternoon in Toronto.
Yeah, nobody saw a sweep coming, and if you're the Baycats right now, you still don't want to see that and think of it as a possibility. This is the best Baycats lineup they have had all playoff series. You get Royce Ando back, someone who played for the Canadian national team when he was in college. He went to a top D1 at the University of Michigan, or Michigan State, I should say. So they get a better lineup. This is their best 1-9 of the playoff series, and they have their co-ace on the mound, and Juan Benitez as the lead season opener in Sam Green.
Yeah, Sam Green's been fantastic for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Well, a lot in the later half of the season. He's been a guy who's come into the bullpen a little bit. He doesn't throw a ton of innings to start off this game, and we don't really expect Sam Green to go a complete 9 innings, but 3, 4, maybe even 5 innings would be amazing for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
Yeah, and this is the game for the Leafs right now. It's not obviously a must-win, but it is for the Baycats. If you're the Leafs, you still set up nicely where, if there's a game 5, the Leafs are going to have Angel Castro and Dustin Richardson as the two guys that they'd use in a game 5. I think game 4, you'd be looking at a guy like Zach Sloan, but if you're the Leafs, why even focus on that kind of stuff when you can end a playoff series right now, right here tonight?
First pitch from Sam Green is low and inside. Sam Green making his first playoff appearance for the Maple Leafs. Owen Jansen is going to lead things off, and we are seeing some switch-ups in the IBL Baycats lineup this afternoon. On the brink of elimination, sometimes you got to play the cards a little bit differently.
Yeah, Jake Wilson batting 5th in that Baycats lineup. That's where he's bat the best this season, but they moved him up to that 2 spot just because they wanted his hot bat higher in the lineup, but he's looked lost in the first 2 games, so they moved him down to that 5 spot, and I expect him to have a big night for the Baycats.
The 1-1 is fouled off down the left side. So it's Owen Jansen, Royce Ando, and then Ryan Rio. Rio and Infante, the 2 constants at the top of the lineup, batting 3rd and 4th.
Rio was their best bat in game 1. Infante their best bat in game 2. So you got to have guys not on base and those guys come up to the plate. That happened yesterday too, right? Ryan Rio, 8th inning, hits an absolute bomb, but it was a solo home run. Leafs were up 5-3 at that point, so you can live with that, right? But you can't allow guys to get on base for Ryan Rio.
Rio has homered in both games against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He could almost have 3 home runs with that first ball that he hammered off the wall back in game 1. That was in dead center field. His home run went to the same part of the ballpark, dead center here in Toronto. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Sam Green. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good start for Green and the Leafs, so there's 1 away.
And we do have a familiar face. Only my second time seeing him walking into the Leafs clubhouse today was Marek Deska, who obviously you're familiar with him last season, and he did call his game on opening day here at Christie Pitts against the London Majors, but we haven't seen him since. He's been a guy that you've seen a lot on the road. Brantford, Hamilton, he lives in that region, so Damon Topley making his life a lot easier, but you're going to see him at some point in this ball game too for the Maple Leafs.
Marek Deska, a creative pitcher, not a guy who's going to blow you away with a big fastball, but he can locate. He mixes his pitches really, really well. Royce Ando getting into a playoff game. He hits the first pitch high in the air. This one's to center field. Backing up is Connor Lewis. About 6 or 7 back pedals enough to make the catch. And there's 2 away.
No pressure for Ando. He hasn't had a game in over a month. He also has other commitments outside of the IBL, and it's been tough for him to get into the lineup. But not only does he come back for an elimination game, he's in that 2 spot. So there's a little bit of pressure in that spot. But a guy like that and that kind of bat, you just have to give him as many opportunities as he can to bat in this game because there's no question he's one of their better right-handed bats.
Ryan Rio with 3 hits in this series, 2 of them home runs, 1 of them off the wall in center field for a single.
And for the first time all series, Garrett Takamatsu, the Maple Leafs manager, has at least shifting against Rio. There is a ton of room down the third base line because they're okay with him hitting a base hit. They don't want him hitting a home run here.
Big swing and a miss, 0-2. Sam Green is one pitch away from having a sparkling first inning, but he's up against a tough bat in Ryan Rio. Brantford Fonte on deck. Here's the 0-2. Inside, and it gets away from the catcher, Justin Mara. Damon Topley filling in for Justin Mara. No Mara in the lineup, and that was certainly will be a talking point for the Barrie Baycats. No Mara in the lineup. Dustin Richardson, a starting pitcher yesterday. Things that the Toronto Maple Leafs did not see a lot of in the regular season, but came away with a 6-3 win. And it's going to be tough for the Barrie Baycats to battle back here.
Well, I told Rio I was talking to Rio prior to the game, and he's like, "Is Dustin pitching this game?" And I said, "I can't comment on that." But they were afraid that Dustin may have gone 7 or 8 innings in that game. But yeah, that was obviously the secret that everyone knew. Not many people knew about heading into yesterday's game. Even Damon was being a bit tight-lipped about it, even to me, but I got information from him at some point. And, that was quite the surprise, and not the surprise the Baycats were expecting. They were expecting Zach Sloan. All due respect to Zach Sloan, that was Dustin Richardson on the mound yesterday, and he's quite the pitcher.
Here's the ball hit in the air, not particularly deep. Greg Carrington moves over. Vinicio there as well. Carrington makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 first inning as Sam Green gets the top of the Barrie Baycats order. And that is exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs were looking for from the young Sam Green. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Jose Vinicio leading things off against Juan Benitez, the Game 3 starter for the Barrie Baycats. I was going to wait for this until later in the broadcast, but Dustin Richardson brought up a great point early on about Jose Vinicio. He said Jose Vinicio is the best hitter in this league.
Yeah, best player in the league.
Best player, sorry.
And, listen, Jose Vinicio, his speed, to me, he's the fastest guy in the league. He's the best offensive shortstop I have seen in my 10 years in the IBL. His bat to ball skills. And listen, he hit Frank Garces on Friday, and that was no easy task. So he's a guy that can get on base. When he gets on base, he most often comes around to home, and He is quite the baseball player and a major get for the Maple Leafs this season.
Pitches high, now 1-2.
And for Juan Benitez last season against the Baycats elimination game, sounds familiar, allowed 5 runs before the game even began. It was a grand slam by Marcus Kondak, and the Leafs had a commanding lead.
Benicio fouls it off, just to clean up that point on Dustin Richardson as well. You know, that was a point that surprised me that he said that, and it would probably surprise a lot of people because I think in baseball, people have a lot of trouble looking past the batting average, right? And looking at those other numbers and the defensive metrics.
Especially in this league, because there's no defensive metrics. And,
yeah.
You know, we can just say something that sounds true because, you know, there's old stats that prove us incorrect on defensive metrics and what have you. So.
Pitch is outside.
Well, Benitez, a bit surprised that the Baycats didn't go to Benitez in game 2. They went to their closer, Brad Grievenson, so not a lot down there in that Baycats bullpen today. Brandon Hillier, Chris Cox, and a few others, but.
And that one is inside, ball 4. Jose Benicio heads down to first base. And he is a threat to steal every time he's on the base path.
Benicio was thrown out at the plate yesterday, at second base. Gray Carrington was picked off at first base, so the Baycats are quite mindful of the Baycats or the Maple Leafs run game. Interesting that Owen Jansen playing a bit in at third base. I don't expect Justin Marr to bunt this baseball, with all due respect.
Pitch is a called strike. Juan Benitez had a 4.68 ERA in the regular season. 77 strikeouts in 74 innings pitched for the Baycats starter. There's a quick throw to first base. Jose Benicio was leading just a little bit, and he gets back.
Benitez does, especially second time through the lineup, has some velocity on his fastball.
Another throw to first base. Jose Benicio was half a step off of the bag.
I could have gotten back on that one. It's a much bigger lead for him now.
Benicio fakes like he's going and now heads back to first base. Tyler Plumpton thought about a pickoff move.
This is called the Jose Benicio cam that we have come up with today because really, if it wasn't for Jose Benicio, we may not have thought of a first base cam as an option.
Yeah, it's held together by duct tape, but we're doing the best we can.
People don't see that. They see a high-quality camera.
Mara hits one to center field. This one's dropping and a diving play, but it's going to get down into the outfield. Carson Burns made a heck of an effort.
Yep.
But it's first and second with nobody out for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They scored early in game 1. They got a lot of hits early in game 2.
Yeah.
And this has been the key to success, getting to the Barrie Baycats starter, whoever it is, Jordan Castaldo, who's been fantastic in this series, will come to the plate.
Well, I mean, listen, we talk about Jordan Castaldo come playoff time. To me, is the best hitter in the IBL. You can say Dalton Pompey, Sean Riley, and also all those guys are great. But pound for pound, I need a hit in the playoffs. I'm taking number 5 for the Maple Leafs.
4 for 9 in the series so far. 4.44 batting average in just the 2 games in the playoffs.
Did strike out twice yesterday, but Adam Kahn, I thought he came out of the Baycats bullpen and did a great job.
Big swing and a miss. Strike 1.
And that means another guy down for the Baycats in that bullpen today. Adam Kahn threw 4 innings. He won't be up until at least perhaps game 5. So another guy down that Baycats bullpen.
Barrie Baycats pitching have got Jordan Castaldo out 5 times, 3 of them via the strikeout in this series. There goes the runner, Jose Benicio. Plumpton thinks about first base. Oh, and now they've got Justin Mara in a rundown. Benicio thinking about coming home. Mara's going to run back to first. There's no one there. Oh, nobody was covering the bag.
That's a lack of miscommunication.
Well, it's a tough play. Juan Benitez decided to go cover the throw coming home because that's where he assumed Jose Benicio was. And that is a really smart play by Jose Benicio to stay on third.
Yeah.
And he was pointing. Yep. Yeah, he was pointing at first base saying Benitez is covering home. You just got to run back to first base.
So this goes back to the conversation we have with Castaldo up here, right? You have to know the whole team in that moment for the Baycats has to know, are you okay giving up the run if Benicio comes home? Or do you want to take the out with Justin Mara, given it's only the top of the first inning? The Baycats have to have communication on that play, and they didn't.
Now first and third, nobody out. Pitches way outside, 1-1. Yeah, who was going to cover first base there? I think it had to just be Tyler Plumpton, the guy covering home plate. UC Taraoka certainly wasn't.
No, why would he help? Why would he help? He sees a meat point.
I looked over. Oh, and there goes Justin Mara now
Great
for second base. Thinking about throwing to second. Tyler Plumpton keeps it in his pocket. And now the double play possibility has been eliminated for a Jordan Castaldo, who's not at his fastest point right now. Just came back from an injury to come in for playoffs. He would have been a double play candidate.
Well, Castaldo, I asked him yesterday, so why aren't you catching this game? Because he caught some games the Baycats and absolutely needed to, and he asked me if I was playing with a full deck because he knows he's not 100% healthy, but I'm sure he would have gotten down otherwise. He caught that game, but Damon Tobley, and we kind of touched about it, but you have to give a shout out on the broadcast of that performance yesterday. Catching Dustin Richardson, the whole Leafs bullpen, and he had a 3-hit game to go along with it. It was quite the performance for Damon Tobley. He drank a lot of water yesterday, by the way, Damon Tobley.
Well, that's good.
He had a few drinks.
That's good.
Like, have to stay hydrated.
Castaldo flies one in the air. This one's to left field. This will be deep enough to score a run, and it bangs off the wall. Jordan Castaldo heads for second. They're going to have to hold the runner at third in Justin Mara, as Mara had to make sure that ball wasn't going to be caught. And Jordan Castaldo missed a home run by a matter of feet down the left field line.
This is what people I don't think across the league, given that there's been a bit of a changing of the guard since 2019. I don't think people quite understand how amazing Castaldo's power is to right or left field. We see it. You call a million of his home runs, and they're absolute moonshots to right field. But man, oh man, does he have major power to all sides of this ballpark.
And this is not like that chilly night we had back on Friday. It's a warm day. There's no wind. The ball will carry. Here's a ball right back to the mound. Juan Benitez run is going to come in to score, and everyone will be safe.
And this is starting to become exactly what I mentioned top of the broadcast. Last year at Coke Stadium up in Midhurst, Juan Benitez with the Baycats season on the line allowed 5 runs before he even got out. And it was Marcus Connect that really ended that game. And Marcus Connect comes up to play for the Maple Leafs. And then once he Juan Benitez, as he allows base runners, he really does slow his pace down. He tries to start keeping the opposing batters off balance and what have you. But either way, the Maple Leafs smell blood right now here at Christie Pitts.
If you thought John Salazzo was having a good playoff so far, take a look at Marcus Connect's numbers. 5 for 9, 2 RBIs. First pitch is in there for a strike.
And yesterday, you saw that on the broadcast, Thomas, he threw a guy out going to second base too, right? So this is a guy that has impacted the Leafs in positive ways in multiple different aspects this postseason.
Big swing and a miss, 0-2. This is a huge out here for Juan Benitez.
Well, that verse, if you're the Leafs, you don't want to bunt in the spot, obviously. It's Marcus Connect. But you want to at least advance the runners if you can. At least one of them. At least the head runner with Castaldo. Get him to third base with less than 2 outs.
0-2. Outside, 1-2.
You see the frame job by Tyler Plumpton on that one. He's doing everything he can to get Benitez his first out. Tough, shout out to Tyler Plumpton too, right? 3rd game in a row catching. It's not easy. Night game, day game. It's not been easy for Tyler Plumpton.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Huge strikeout for Juan Benitez. And there's 1 away. That's the first out of the ball game.
And it brings up Lewis, who had a triple yesterday. At least had 2 triples yesterday. They had 2 triples all season. So, and they were saying in the dugout, we play at Christie Pitts, so we can't hit a lot of triples. But they had 2 triples yesterday, and that was quite the performance from the 5, 6, 7 in the Maple Leafs lineup.
Lewis swings and misses at a breaking ball in the dirt from Juan Benitez. Connor Lewis is 4 for 9. Couple RBIs, couple runs scored. Maple Leafs had 2 triples. That's part of 17 hits they had yesterday. Another swing and a miss. Juan Benitez may be finding his groove here in the bottom of the first. Dan Mara awaits on deck, hopeful of an at-bat.
Benitez does have that fastball slider combination that get him out of trouble.
Pitch is over the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Down goes Connor Lewis. And now Dan Mara will need a 2-out hit to cash that runner in from second base.
And it's not a lock on a base hit that Castaldo can come home, given he's not at 100% health. But this is a big spot for the Maple Leafs in this spot because you got 2 runs in, so it's a nice first inning, but you have an opportunity here to really not blow this game open, but give yourself a nice lead.
Pitch is way outside, ball 1.
Benitez well over 20 pitches in this inning. 25 pitches to be exact.
The 1-0. Way inside 2-0. Juan Benitez pitched 4 2/3 in his last outing. That was against the London Majors. Gave up 6 runs, but only 2 of them were earned.
Yeah, he allowed a few home runs that game. Robert Mullen absolutely crushed a baseball on the Highway 26 in that one, but he's keeping the ball in the ballpark right now.
Pitch is upstairs, 3-0. Benitez has not been a guy who's known to walk a lot of people. 17 walks in 74 innings pitched. He's a strike thrower.
And he lives around the zone. So what does that mean? It means you can swing early and often in counts. The Leafs did that with Brad Grieveson yesterday. I was even talking to Grieveson after the game. He's like, I knew that was the game play because I don't throw any balls. And that's great, but it was a catch-22 to that. Catch-22 is that guys will be swinging early and often because they know I live around the strike zone.
3-1. Strike 2.
Now a base hit should bring home Castaldo at second base, given that he's going to be on the move here on the 3-2 count.
Topley on deck. Runners will be going. The 3-2. Here's a little bouncing ball back to the mound. Juan Benitez fields it, throws on to first, and the inning is over. But it is a good inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they start off with a couple of runs in the first inning. 2-0 Maple Leafs over the Barrie Baycats. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Brant Fianfonte leading things off. Sam Green back on the mound for his second inning of work. Had a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first. Top of the second. It's the number 4 hitter leading things off. Fonte takes outside 1-1.
Might be Infante's last ever game here at Christie Pitts if he decides to move on after this season, and the Baycats can come back here for a game 5. He began his time here in the IBL, and probably drove across the border from the States to bring him into Canada for the first time. He's gone on 6 championships with the Baycats. Had a couple of great seasons with the Maple Leafs, including an All-Star season back in 2012.
From Santo Domingo. Inside 3-1.
You don't want to put him on base. Jake Wilson in that 5-hole. And Fonte himself has lots of speed.
3-1 from Green. Fouled off, 3-2. Fonte is 3 for 8 in the series.
Nice night at the plate yesterday. A couple hits, and they got thrown out in the eighth. Then he wasn't happy with the strike 3 call and Chris Nagorski, but nice night at the plate.
Green with the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off once again. Sam Green needed just 10 pitches in the first inning. Infield and outfield played straight away on Infante. Fouled off once again. Now an 8-pitch at bat.
That's what the Baycats need to get. This is their first time seeing Sam Green, right? So now they can see what he looks like and see what he's made of. And Fonte doing that for the rest of the Baycats lineup.
3-2. Grounded foul. Long battle being put up here by Infante.
There's no question Infante is locked in. And yeah, he had down numbers during the regular season, but really that was just because of his lack of playing time coming in and out of the Baycats lineup due to other commitments. But there's no question that he's playing every game. So that was third game in 3 nights. He can play some baseball.
Ranfi Infante forced to try and find the strike zone once again. The 3-2 just outside. Ball 4. Sam Green thought he had him. And this is some life now for the. If you look back to game 1, this is how it all got started. Got them right back in the ball game in the second inning.
What you really have to do for the Maple Leafs is, and I said this at that time, you have a nice big inning, especially at the beginning of the ball game. You have to respond with your starting pitcher throwing up a 0 on the mound. And that's going to be a tough task for Sam Green now with Jake Wilson up. He's also a threat to bunt.
Wilson takes strike 1. I mean, you mentioned the down numbers for Sam Green in the regular season. They were all right.
I was talking about Brantley Fonte, but Sam Green's case, you think of one outing he had against the Panthers, he was excellent for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, 4.87 ERA, about as much as you could ask for. This one's popped up. John Salazzo coming over. He's on the mound. Oh, that's a tough play from John Salazzo, but he makes the catch. Anytime you start climbing upwards when you're looking straight up, it's a uneasy feeling.
And he didn't have to make that play, right? It was an infield fly. So the batter was out anyway, but it's always nice to make a catch. It's nice impressive catch that we can now talk about.
Yeah, you're right, but the last thing you want is that ball hitting the mound and bouncing around the infield, and who knows where it ends up.
Or if he has some plus speed at first base.
Yeah. No one's covering second.
No, who's on second?
No, I'm not doing that.
No, right. It's too early for that. It's too much. It's too important of a game.
One away, ball fouled straight back. Yeah, John Salazzo, he hasn't had his best defensive year. There's no question about that, but he does put in his work. He's, one of the few guys you see out there before the game at home games, taking ground balls at short, taking ground balls at third base, trying to improve. And we have seen some improvement over the season with his defense at third base as well. But the one weapon that he has in his repertoire is he has an absolute cannon over the first base. It's just about harnessing it and making sure he gets the glove on the ball.
There's no question he has an absolute cannon. He has the best throw by anyone in this league at third base, but sometimes it goes over guys' heads. But there's no question the velocity. He'll make any play really at third base. Sam Green now at 26 pitches. Obviously, he's not looking going too deep into this game anyway, so pitch count not really as important for him as it is for Juan Benitez.
There goes the runner at first, Jake Wilson, throwing from his knees, and it's right on the money. Justin Mara from both knees guns one down to second base. It's in enough time to get Jake Wilson, and I'm not sure what happened there with Jake Wilson.
It was Ranfi Infante, obviously Wilson.
Oh, Ranfi Infante, sorry.
No worries. But that's why you have me, the expert, the guy with inside info on the page. That's why you have me here, Thomas. But
swing and a miss, strike 3. and we will leave it right
I
there.
got nothing to say. Nothing positive to say.
Sam Green is fired up, gets a big high five from Angel Castro on the way out, and why not? He once again faces the minimum and gets out of the inning with the caught stealing being a big helper in that. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. It's Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. First pitch to Damon Topley is in there for a strike, and we're underway in the bottom of the second inning. 2-0 Toronto Maple Leafs over the Barrie Baycats. That's strike 2 to Topley.
And Benitez pounding the strike zone now, really, ever since that at-bat to connect. Benitez is locked in for the Baycats.
20 strikes, 12 balls for Juan Benitez. There's a ball way outside to Damon Topley. Topley lines one to second base, and that one's caught by Royce Ando. One away.
Brings up Drake Carrington. He had a nice night at the plate yesterday. Obviously, that big triple, he eventually came home and gave the Leafs the lead. And he's had quite the season, really, in that 9 spot. He got close to batting 300 at the end of the season, and he's been red hot for the Maple Leafs. Had a nice at-bat against Garces. I think he got out in that game on Friday, but nonetheless, it's still a great at-bat by him. That's been the key for at least the first 2 games, a lot of quality at-bats.
Oh, and hit the ice cream truck?
I think he's used to it.
As long as it doesn't go in the ice cream truck, that could be a mess.
Yeah.
Pitches up and away, 1-1.
And today's a day for ice cream too. It is hot. Not too
Yeah.
hot, but
You can't, on air people can't eat ice cream though. More on that in just a sec. Juan Benitez with a great snag on the mound, 1 away.
I'm not a big ice cream guy. I don't love ice cream. So it's not really my thing. Like, you wouldn't see me like eat one at the ballpark.
Right.
But people enjoy their ice cream. There's no question.
That's such an outrageous statement, but whatever.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Jose Vinicio will lead things off. I paused there just so you could think about.
Yeah, I was thinking, do I
said.
add something to just go to the Vinicio at bat? And I think it's best for the broadcast team, the viewers listening at home, just to move on to the at bat.
Vinicio grounds one to second base. Play is made, and that is a quick 1-2-3. Bottom of the second inning for one, Benitez, as the Toronto Maple Leafs continue to lead the Barrie Baycats 2-0. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Strike one from Sam Green. James Anderson is the batter. Anderson lines one into center field. That gets down for a base hit. One on with nobody out for the Barrie Baycats in the top of the third.
This bottom half of the lineup, right? James Anderson, Tyler Plumpton, they get on base. Plumpton has done it really all series for the Baycats, giving them their best at-bat of anyone on the team. And they can really turn things around here for the Baycats and bring up the top half of the lineup with guys on base.
Tyler Plumpton had 3 hits in game 1. Just kept off the hit column last game. First pitch from Sam Green. Plumpton thinks about bunting. Takes strike one. Not a lot of the Maple Leafs infielders buying the bunt as he hammers one in the air down the left field line, and that one's foul. Tyler Plumpton had 1 extra base hit the entire season, and that was pretty close to being one here in the playoffs.
Yeah, Tyler Plumpton, I mean, as you say, he's a base hit machine, and that's all he needs to do in this spot, but that was pretty close to having guys on second and third and nobody out for Baycats.
And 1 extra base hit and a batting average way over 300, too. That was certainly no knock on how good a hitter Tyler Plumpton is. Here's the 0-2. Time is called by the home plate umpire. Jordan Castaldo at first base again for the Maple Leafs. Mara at shortstop. Jose Vinicio, or Mara at second. Vinicio at short. Here's a ground ball to Jose Vinicio. This could be 2. Flip to second for 1. Dan Mara throws to first. A double play. Sam Green has been an escape artist so far in this game. Runners on base have not been an issue as he erases both of them on the double play.
Sam Green's personality is exactly, to me, the personality that you need as a pitcher. Like, he comes in, he's like, yeah, I allow base runners, he's totally fine, especially at this ballpark, too, because you allow base runners, you see it. Some guys get rattled and can really explode and turn into a big inning, but Sam Green, always cool, calm, and collected, and that's what you need.
Carson Burns pops it foul behind home plate. Carson Burns was 0 for 4 last game, looking for his first hit of the series.
One of just 3 Baycats left in that 2019 championship team.
Takes over the inside corner, 0-2.
Offensively, anyways, you got Brandon Hillier back in that bullpen, but Burns, Infante, and Rio, the only 3 bats in that dynasty team.
34 pitches for Sam Green, trying to buy himself another inning. As the pitch is hit in the air, this one to center field. It sends Connor Lewis back. He's under it. He makes the catch. Sam Green has faced the minimum through 3 innings and is looking really strong, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get another inning of work. Gets a fist bump on the way out from Takamatsu, but not a handshake. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Toronto Maple Leafs leading the or top of the 4th inning, bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, we're heading to the bottom half of the 3rd.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Toronto Maple Leafs leading 2-0. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Justin Mara is going to lead things off, and this is about as good a start as the Toronto Maple Leafs could hope for realistically. Leading 2-0 over the Barrie Baycats. Juan Benitez out there on the mound. Bottom of the 3rd inning.
It's nice that's the bottom of the 3rd, and you see Benitez now for the 2nd time through, right? That's always a nice thing to see, and the more you see Benitez, the more you can get to him, I think.
Justin Mara blooped a single into center field.
I do have to say, though, I think Benitez has some life on his fastball in this game. He's looking like he's pumping it out with decent velocity, so he may be on his game today.
Pitch is just outside, 2-1.
It was a nasty breaking pitch there by Benitez to even the count up at 2.
Two, just outside.
If you're Benitez, he's not a guy that can do what Frank Garces did. Flat out, 130 pitches, not even an option. So that pitch comes getting up there. It matters because you get to that Baycats bullpen. We'll see what can happen.
Here's the ball hit in the air. This one's to left field and pretty well. Back to the wall and banging up against the wall and making the catch is James Anderson.
That was quite the catch by James Anderson. He's not a guy that absolutely loves playing left field. He's also a catcher and a first baseman. So he still came out in left. You're not hoping to have him make those catches, but he did. It was a monster catch.
Pitch is in there for a strike to Jordan Castaldo. Castaldo takes low 1-1. Jordan's 1 for 1, singled in his first at bat, or doubled in his first bat, I should say. Now Jordan Castaldo dealing with a B. In the batter's
they kept swatting at the B yesterday in the dugout, and I just don't understand the idea of swatting at a B.
I'll have to make it go away, I guess.
But it might come back with a vengeance. Right? I've never swatted at a B a day in my life.
"27 strikes, 20 balls for Juan Benitez, 47 pitches. Inside corner, strike 2. Jordan Castaldo was behind at the count 0-2 in his first at-bat, battled back and somehow was able to loft a ball off the wall in left field. Sent James Anderson all the way back to the wall. He may have got a glove on it.
Anderson has had a busy day out and left.
2-2 from Benitez. That one's low and in the dirt.
Pitch number 50 coming up here for Benitez.
The 3-2 to Castaldo, swung on, and just getting a piece of it was Castaldo as he fouls it to the backstop.
Benitez still looks like he has some life in that fastball. Second time through the lineup, almost at 60 pitches through 3.
Fouled off once again. This is a good at-bat being put up here by Jordan Castaldo. 343 batting average in the regular season for Castaldo. Missed a good portion of the season late, but he's back in a huge bat in the lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Castaldo from right here in Toronto, Ontario.
There's no way he was missing the playoffs. He knew he'd be back in time for the playoffs too.
Takes outside ball 4. The guy who led the Intercounty Baseball League in walks in the regular season heads down to first base.
Best at-bat by a Maple Leaf in this game. Jose Benicio began the game quite nicely with a 3-2 full count base on ball, but a nice at-bat there by the Leafs' arguably best hitter in Jordan Castaldo.
And that's the first walk he's had in this series as well. 4 for 9 coming into this game. 5 for 10 now. Salazzo takes outside.
Not really any threat to take off at first base. Is the Leafs' first baseman.
Oh. Salazzo fouls it off.
Fouls it off of what, Thomas?
I honestly lost it.
I can hear the thump.
Yeah, I heard it too, yeah. Here's a ball hit, a high chopper to second base, and it's going to bounce over the head of Royce Andeau. Heading to third base is Jordan Castaldo, and that is a very fortunate single for John Salazzo, as Andeau just had to take that one on a high hop. Honestly, it wasn't even really a Christie Pitts bounce. It was just hammered into the ground so hard.
Yeah, it happened the last second, too. Sometimes with the Christie Pitts bounces, you say, oh, yeah, this wasn't going to cause trouble. At no point did that one look like it was going to cause trouble, but a massive opportunity here for Connect now. Guy on third base, less than 2 out. You have to cash him in. Connect struck out last time up. A massive run there at third base, 90 feet away. Potentially an opportunity for Salazzo to also take off to second base on this play too.
And I'm just recalling as well as the first pitch from Benitez is fouled back. That's the second time in this series that John Salazzo has had a hit where he's just slammed it off home plate.
Yeah.
It's ended up being a single.
Happened in game 1, yeah. He'll take it. He can get down fast at first base bag. Average, sometimes above average speed for Salazzo coming out of the batter's box.
John swings so hard that when he makes contact, it's coming off the bat at really high velocity, and sometimes just beat it into the ground. It'll be enough with this hard surface here at Dominico Field.
Connect may give him a run for his money, but in terms of pure power, and like this guy can absolutely crush a baseball, Salazzo can do it more.
Salazzo can crush it. Connect can put together good mechanics in his swing.
Connect is like, oh yeah, there goes the ball. That ball's gone. Like, but Salazzo's like, oh man, like that ball's no one can find it kind of thing. We saw what he did against Brantford in that one inning a couple months or last month, a couple of weeks back. That was quite the inning for John Salazzo.
Salazzo does a really good job using that 6'3" frame as well. Connect fouls it back. Not to say Marcus Connect isn't a big guy as well. 6'1", 200 pounds.
Well, let's face it, Salazzo's absolutely jacked. I mean, nobody has anything on him. 2 strikes.
Well, maybe Dustin Richardson.
Yeah,
he's a big guy.
A big guy,
yeah.
We were talking on top of the sidewalk today, and if you were like down, near the bleachers, and you had to say, "Oh, where's Ryan? Where's Dustin?" You definitely pick us out in terms of
you could tell which one was Ryan, which one was Dustin. Yeah, you could definitely tell that. Yeah. 1-2 DeMarcus Connect. This one's hit in the air, and that one's going to get down into the outfield. This will score another run. Some trouble with it in the outfield. James Anderson, he gets it to the infield, and Marcus Connect heads to second base. That'll be a single and an error, and the Maple Leafs score another run, and now are threatening once again in the bottom of the third.
And that is a legit play by Marcus Connect as Andrew White, the Baycats bench coach, comes out to talk to Juan Benitez, whose pitch count is beyond elevated. And you see the Baycats bullpen catcher get his stuff on, and Evan Sewells is going to head down to that Baycats bullpen. But, you look at that play by Connect, he saw that Anderson, even though after he bobbled the baseball, he was trying to throw out Salazzo at third base, so Connect's fine. I'll go to second base. Now it's second, third, 1 out, and a great opportunity for Connor Lewis to have a 3-hit night for Maple Leafs yesterday.
Is there any possibility that Frank Garces is an option in this ball game?
No, because I think he refused, right?
Right.
I mean, if you're Matt Lowe or anyone, and not stressing even at any point that the Baycats would even ask him, that's where borders on inhumane, right? Because it's 1 day rest. I don't think the Baycats would even ask him that because.
Go ask Angel Castro if he wants to pitch today.
Okay, if Castro wasn't bad, he being David Topley's spot right now in the DH spot. That was up to him. So I can't say I value Angel's opinion too much on what he would be willing to do for this team, but
Angel Castro loves to play the game. Connor Lewis pops it in the air. It's going to hook foul out of play.
Infield comes right in for the Baycats. At really no point in this playoff series, and I don't want to jinx it for the Maple Leafs, but it hasn't really paid off for the Baycats. It's almost always led to balls getting by the Baycats defense and what have you. But you have to do this. This is the right play.
Big swing and a miss. 0-2 on Connor Lewis.
The easiest solution for the Baycats and Juan Benitez is simply to get a strikeout in this spot.
Something which Juan Benitez did more than one time per inning in the regular season. 77 strikeouts and 74 innings pitched. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's a big strikeout on Connor Lewis, and that brings up Dan Mara.
And Mara came up in this spot last time. 2 guys on base, 2 out in the bottom half of the first inning. Guys on first and second, he got out. It's a beezer all over us here.
It's always something, eh?
I'll take the bees over the Skunks. But a massive spot here in this game, and base hit can open this game up.
Ball hit in the air, particularly deep. It's the right fielder who's under it. Brantford Infante makes the catch, and the Toronto Maple Leafs able to just get the 1 run in the bottom of the third inning, and Barrie's keeping it close, but still looking to tack on a run. 3-0 Toronto Maple Leafs over the Barrie Baycats. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Sam Green, another inning of work back on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Nobody up in that Baycats bullpen. Excuse me, the Maple Leafs bullpen. I gotta stop saying Baycats. I'm trying to say Maple Leafs.
Did you used to work for the Baycats?
That's what the word on the street is. I volunteer my time, yeah.
Or sorry.
Yeah. I did do a lot of stuff.
Pitch is outside, 2-0.
Shout out to the Baycats media guy now, my replacement, Patrick Melbourne, PA and play-by-play yesterday. Pretty impressive. I know he's listening because he called me out for my ice cream take. But
yeah, did he?
Yeah, he's messaged me saying, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he sent me a message about it.
Here's the ball hit in the air. This one's going to go foul down the third baseline. I'm with you there, Patrick.
PA play-by-play, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so tell me about that. That's an incredible
I didn't know until
feat.
after the game. And he's like, oh, yeah, I was doing both. Because I obviously knew he was doing PA.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, who's doing play-by-play? Because I didn't see anyone on the bench. He's like, oh, I did it. Like, okay, well, that's something I could never do in a million
I don't
years.
think I could do that either. That's incredible.
Like, he had to mute the broadcast. Maybe he was saying something over the PA. And vice versa.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I could have hopped on.
And some PA.
Well, play-by-play maybe?
Patrick had it on lock.
He didn't even.
Pitches up and away. Ball 4. Leadoff walk to the leadoff guy, Owen Jansen. Not usually the leadoff guy, but he is today. Barrie has one on with nobody out. Here's Roy Sandeau.
I love that from Dustin Richardson. He comes out, a little pat on the back, and right back in. And it's great pace, too. He must be a manager. He has to make a trot back to the dugout. That was talk about piece of play. That's what you do if you're Dustin Richardson.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting, too. So it was actually really nice talking with Dustin Richardson.
I love talking to Dustin Richardson.
Before the game. He's a real good guy to talk to. And what do you say when you go to the mound when you're a pitching coach? He says, well, he doesn't go and talk about his mechanics or anything like that because Dustin Richardson could. He's a real good pitcher.
Former Boston Red Sox.
He says, it's just positive reinforcement. You go out, talk about a situation. You don't want to really get in the pitcher's head. You want to let him do his thing. Here's a ground ball up the middle. That one's going to get through for a base hit. Roy Sandeau behind Owen Jansen, 2 on with nobody out for the Barrie Baycats.
And that brings up Ryan Rio. And this is not what you wanted if you were Sam Green because you can tie this game with one swing and at least have all these base runners and all this, but they're one swing away from tying this game.
And the other thing Dustin Richardson said when he goes out to the mound is, he goes and sometimes he just says, just get an out.
Yep.
And that's probably what he would be saying right now in this situation.
The ball on the ground, barring a defensive mistake, absolutely turns 2 on Ryan Rio. He doesn't hit many balls on the ground.
A primary focus for the Toronto Maple Leafs here, limit the damage and make sure you're able to somehow get Ryan Rio out.
You can't throw him a fastball. At no point in this at-bat can you throw him a fastball.
0-1. That's a breaking ball. It's in the dirt. And how about Justin Morrow? What a play to keep it in front of him.
2 guys on base with plus speed. But, yeah, I don't think Ryan Rio's seen a fastball in this at-bat. Maybe a high fastball to kind of go back and forth on that breaking pitch down low. But you just can't throw him anything that he can hit.
With the 0-2 count, Sam Green now has the luxury of throwing pretty much whatever pitch he wants. The breaking ball certainly got Ryan Rio. Yeah, they're going to go talk about this. Justin Mara is going to come out to the mound.
There's also a guy on second base, Owen Jansen, who can be stealing signs too. So we just want to make sure you're on the same page here for the biggest at-bat of the game for Sam Green, as that Maple Leafs bullpen remains empty.
A mistake here in this game could be tied 3-3 in a very short amount of time. Pitch is just high. That was a fastball,
high fastball.
Up and away.
Now I think you go back down, right? Make him chase something down low.
A nod on the first signal from Sam Green. Here's the 1-2. It's hit in the air down the left field line and foul.
May have been a changeup.
Rio staying alive, but still behind in the count 1-2. Ryan Rio hit .304 in the regular season as he takes the breaking ball in the dirt. .304, 6 home runs, but this ballpark plays up in terms of home runs. No question, Ryan Rio has power with the best of them in the Inter-County Baseball League. 2-2 pitch coming from Sam Green. Time is called.
It's been a great at-bat here by Rio. Fowling back with some pitches, looking at some balls with 2 strikes.
Brant Fianfonte is on deck. He's been real hot in the playoffs, or in the 2 games in the playoffs. Here's the ball hit in the air, deep to right field, and that one is way out of here. We have a tie ball game at Christie Pitts. Ryan Rio, his 3rd home run in 3 games against the Maple Leafs. And we're all even up.
You can see the Leafs, so now we're going to get somebody up in that bullpen. And that was a big mistake, right? Second time through the lineup, you see Rio. And you allow 2 base runners on, he ties the game with 1 swing.
There is no one hotter than Ryan Rio right now in the Inter-County Baseball League. 4 hits in the series, 3 of them home runs. He showed up when it matters for the Barrie Baycats. They really needed that, and they're right back in this ball game.
And Deska indeed is going to begin throwing in that Leafs bullpen.
Pitch is up and away.
If you're Sam Green, just kind of refocus, right? Tie game, but that Baycats bullpen's not lights out. At least look, we stop at 3 runs for the rest of this game. So just keep at it offensively and keep your offense in this game.
Here's a ball lined into the outfield. Brant Fianfonte is going to be on with a base hit. He will stay right there at first base. And now, second time through the order, it's been all hits for the Barrie Baycats. Sam Green faced the minimum through the first 9 batters for the first 3 innings. And now the second look that the Barrie Baycats are getting against Sam Green is going a lot better.
Yeah, maybe start taking some time here, let Deska get loose. You have to think Sam Green did his job as the opener, but his time may be coming to an end pretty soon.
Scoring to bunt and popping it up. Justin Mara dives. He can't make the catch.
Almost had it, too.
Jake Wilson looking for a bunt single. He almost looked like he didn't want to make contact with the ball. It looked like he was trying to pull the bat back.
100%. That pitch was quite inside.
He was startled a little bit when the ball hit the end of the bat. Infante is on first base. Batter is Jake Wilson, the 0-1. Fouled back. John Salazzo came in on the grass. Now he'll move back with the 2-strike count. Pitch is up and away. 1-2. Big pitch here for Sam Green. A ground ball could make things a lot easier. Just outside. That was a breaking ball.
So many lefties in this Baycats lineup, too. Obviously, the Leafs only have Adam Marr as the only lefty as an option today. Right now, Sam Green just looking to get the first out of the inning, and really the Maple Leafs from that point, this game plan from that point forward, but he needs to get an out.
2-2, strike three called. Jake Wilson goes down looking. Brings the bat him odd.
No one would like to get just a fresh, clean inning in the top of the fifth. That means he'll also be fully loose, nobody on base. He had his own inning to begin. So this might be Sam Green's inning. He's a ground ball away from getting out of it.
James Anderson awaits on deck. Adam Odd is the batter. The ball goes to the backstop. Justin Mara almost had a play down at second base. It took a favorable hop off the netting.
And that's also a big 90 feet. Keeps the Baycats out of the inning ending double play. And it's now a base hit away from Adam Odd, who loves hitting base hits, and giving the Baycats their first lead of the game and of the playoff series.
Adam Odd hit .328 in 17 regular season games. He's going to fist one into center field. Vinicio comes back, makes the catch. Throw to second. In time, double play. Jose Vinicio and Greg Carrington fired up after that one. Dan Mara comes across and a heads-up play to cover the bag. And the Toronto Maple Leafs get out of it, but not before a massive Ryan Rio home run to tie the game 3-3. That's where we sit now. Barrie Baycats and Toronto Maple Leafs. This is an elimination game. Leafs trying to put away the Baycats. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Damon Toppoli leading things off for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the fourth inning, and he lines a base hit into left field. Toppoli is aboard on the first pitch from Juan Benitez.
The Leafs' top guys, top half of the lineup, have done a lot of damage to the first two games, or in this game, after the bottom half of the lineup has really helped the Leafs the first two games, but potentially an opportunity here for the Maple Leafs. Maybe a bunt from Greg Carrington, but at the same time, when you do that, you have to make sure that Baycats have no play at second base, given Topoli's speed or lack thereof. Third baseman in, expecting the bunt.
Greg Carrington squares around. Oh, and then he swung at it.
I don't know about that.
Greg Carrington tried to pull the bunt cheese.
His eyes obviously lit up, right? And he said, "Oh, I don't want to bunt that thing." But it ended up being quite the swing. Obviously, he saw something he thought he could hit onto the Little League diamond, but he fouls it back.
Pitches insight. Any video gamers who play MLB The Show will be absolutely outraged by the bunt dancing. Here's the ball hit in the air. This one's pretty well, and it will go down the line and bang up against the wall. Greg Carrington rounds first base, but puts on the brakes. Damon Topley will cruise into third base, and it's a long single off the wall for Greg Carrington. He was way out in front of that pitch, but was able to get good wood on it.
And the one thing Benitez has done in this game that's been decent, his guy's on third base. He has stranded base runners. He allows base runs in, but he's also stranded base runners. But what a massive opportunity for the Leafs. Top guys coming up now. An opportunity to retake that. What you need, shut the inning, at least these runs.
Jose Vinicio has come to play in the playoffs. Great defensive plays. First pitch is popped up.
That's not going to be enough to get Topley home. Not even close.
This could be a tough play. Wind is waving it around, and coming in all the way from left field is James Anderson to make the catch. James Anderson ran a long way for that baseball.
Yeah, in hindsight, that was Carson Burns' baseball the entire way. But yeah, that was there was never going to be enough anyway for Topley, but now it's going to take a big hit here from Justin Marr because there's under no possibility can Leafs strand this runner at third base.
This is the go-ahead run in the form of Damon Topley at third. Justin Marr trying to find a way to get him home. Greg Carrington's at first base. First pitch to Mara is outside.
Leafs absolutely need one run across this inning.
Justin Mara pops it up.
That might be enough.
It's in the outfield. Will Topley go? Here he comes to the plate. The throw from the outfield is on, or it's offline, cut off by Adam Odd at first base. Oh, if I'm Adam Odd, I might have taken my chances on letting that one go through. But the Toronto Maple Leafs score and now lead 4-3.
I say no because then they're one bounce away from Greg Carrington. They go into second base. We see what that's happened in this playoff series and all season at Christie pitch. So I think that's the right call. And we'll see if Greg Carrington takes off in this spot because he has the speed to do so. And even if he gets out, then you have 3, 4, 5 coming up next inning for the Maple Leafs. Evan Sills is pretty much ready to go for the Baycats in that bullpen.
That ball from Justin Mara just kept carrying into the outfield. Throw to first base, back in there safely as Carrington.
Rampy Infante has an above-average throw from right field. He's the guy that's also pitched 2 games this season. Decent size lead, nothing special for Greg Carrington.
Not going, pitch a strike, 0-1. Jordan Castaldo was 1 for 1 with a walk. Then John Salazzo was on deck. He's 2 for 2.
Benitez at 72 pitches, so a decent number, but he can easily come out from that inning.
Castaldo hits one in the air. This one's to left field. James Anderson goes back. He makes the catch. Jordan Castaldo gave it a ride, but not quite enough to get over the head of James Anderson. And Juan Benitez limits the damage in the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-3, Toronto Maple Leafs lead on a sacrifice fly by Justin Mara to score Damon Topley. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Woodbine Racetrack call to the bullpen is for Merrick Deska. And you'd have to imagine this will be more than a one-inning affair from Deska coming to the bullpen.
I mean, there's the chance that you at least might let him ride and let him complete this game if it goes great for the Leafs. But, Chris Nagorski's down there, Adam Mara, a few others. It's a bullpen day for the Leafs, but we'll see what Deska can do.
Throws 2 strikes to start off his outing. 6-foot pitcher from Mississauga, Ontario, a veteran guy on this Toronto Maple Leafs team. Deska's pitch is outside, ball 1. Merrick Deska had a great regular season when he did come in, a 2-0 record, 3.64 ERA, 10 games, 7 of them were starts, and then 32 strikeouts in 29 and 2/3 innings pitched.
Yeah, he gets strikeouts, and all of a sudden this ballpark, that really can play, right? Because you don't want to allow too much contact.
Every season, Merrick Deska has pitched just about 30 pitches, and it's always the same for him, really.
A lot of strikeouts this season, but you know what you get from a guy like Deska. And my first time calling a game from Merrick Deska, only his second home game of the season. He called pitched the first game at Christie Pitch this season, but he's been the guy on the road this season for the Maple Leafs. Lots of games in Hamilton, lots of games in Brantford, but here he is back in the pits, and he's pitched at this ballpark a few times.
James Anderson is the batter. 2-2 count. Tyler Plumpton is on deck. Here it comes. Fouled straight back. So in your eyes, who's available in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen here today?
I doubt Jacober. I mean, he pitched 3 innings. Hernandez, we'll see. Like, if Leafs have a one-run lead, perhaps. You got Chris Nagorski. You have Adam Mara. Besides that, it's just not a lot here today. Just because of the fact that they've used a lot of guys in the last 2 games. Dustin Richardson, obviously, began yesterday's game. So, I mean, we'll see about Franklin Hernandez, but I don't expect he'll pitch.
Another 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Merrick Deska comes in and strikes out James Anderson. Brings up Tyler Plumpton, and, it goes to show the importance of that game 1 start by Angel Castro, going 8+ innings pitched, only having to use the 1 reliever in Franklin Hernandez. This bullpen would be in a different state if it hadn't been for that outing.
And who knows how yesterday goes, because there was a chance they had to use Dustin Richardson in game 1, right? He was an option, but they didn't want to use him, obviously. They didn't have to because of the perhaps legendary night from Angel Castro.
Same thing could be said for Frank Garces as well, limiting the amount of bullpen usage that the Barrie Baycats needed. Tyler Plumpton ahead in the count, 2-0. He hits one in the air. This one's to left field. Back to the wall and making the catch out there is Marcus Connect. Tyler Plumpton gave it a ride, but there's 2 away.
Tyler Plumpton showing off some power this game. Opposite field, he almost goes, and he just missed that one. And we saw that foul ball earlier to the left that almost got out too. If it wasn't, 10 feet foul, but it had the distance.
Yeah. Tyler Plumpton's getting the sweet spot on the ball. Carson Burns fouls the first pitch off. Carson Burns is 0 for 1. Hits one on the ground, foul. 0-2. Merrick Deska getting ahead of a Barrie Baycat batter with an 0-2 count for the second time this inning.
In this game, I kind of said it to some guys prior to the game. The first 2 games you want with pitching. This game you have to take the offense, right? You have to have a big play offensively, because I don't think either team can really limit what these 2 teams can do offensively in this game, just given the lack of options in both teams' bullpens. This is not a game that you take 6-3. It might be a game that you have to take 9-8.
The 1-2 from Deska, way up and in, 2-2. Carson Burns puts a charge in one. This one's to right field and gone. Another game-tying home run for the Barrie Baycats. This time it's Carson Burns, and we're tied at 4.
Burns has hit a couple home runs in this ballpark in the past, and he does it here again. And that's back to, first time around it was an out for Plumpton against Deska, but this time Burns takes it out, and it's going to be one of those games.
Barrie Baycats refusing to go away in this ball game. Now tied 4-4 in the top of the 5th. Another ball hit in the air. This one's going to loop foul down the left field line. Back to the top of the order, and Owen Jansen. Deska's 0-1. It's high. One.
Deska 11 strikes, 7 balls. You don't see a lot from a guy like Deska. He pounds the zone, but first inning in a bit, he's trying to find his way out there.
That one's in there for a strike, 2-2. Owen Jansen 1 for 7 in the series. 0 for 1 today. Drew a walk in his last at-bat. Pitch is up and away, 3-2. Roy Sandeau, who's 1 for 2, is looming on deck. 3-2 pitch. This one's lined down the right field line, but foul.
And if Jansen gets on, he's also a threat to take off. If it is a base hit or if it is a base on ball, then we all know Ryan Rio's up after that, and he can potentially blow this game wide open, but loss can happen between now and then.
Eric Deska trying to bear down and get Roy Sandeau. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's hit on the ground. That one's going to get through, rolls into the outfield. Marcus Connect charges in and picks it up in right field. 2-out single. And here's the number 2 hitter, Roy Sandeau, a guy that the Barrie Baycats were pretty happy to have in the lineup here this afternoon.
Well, there's no question. He splits up a lot of the lefties, righties that they have in that top half of the lineup, and he put the bat on the baseball. Not a lot of power, but in this game, you're seeing some guys that don't have a lot of power hit the ball out. And this could be a big inning for the Baycats, and this is a really important out. You just can't let this inning extend to Ryan Rio. Pitch count's getting up there a bit for Deska. Obviously, it helps that he's stretched out to pitch as many pitches as needed, 100 pitches and all that. But Sam Green did give him the first 4 innings, so he doesn't have to go too much to get through this game.
Pitch is way high. 2-1. Roy Sandeau appeared in 14 games in the regular season for the Barrie Baycats. Hit .263. Was a big player in the playoffs for them last year, or at least in the 4 games they played in that first round matchup.
You might have to give Ando something that you don't want to really throw, because you can't put him on base and allow Ryan Rio to come up here with an opportunity to blow this game open.
Absolutely.
For the Baycats.
Imperative.
It might have to be a fastball.
Ando takes a strike. That was a fastball.
And you might have to go back to it. You just can't risk giving him a free pass.
One thing that Marek Deska has in his arsenal is he has really good command of the strike zone. Paints the corner. This time, needs to find the strike zone. Pitch is fouled straight back. Ando trying to find some way to put the bat in the hands of Ryan Rio with runners on base.
And that's a spot, you don't want to load the bases up. You're not going to give him an intentional walk, but you'd have to pitch around him.
The 3-2. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Marek Deska gets a huge strikeout of Roy Sandeau with Ryan Rio on deck, but not before a Carson Burns solo home run to right field ties the game. It's 4-4 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Barrie Baycats. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. John Salazzo leads things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, trying to get that 1-run lead back. Salazzo can do it in one swing. Seeing Juan Benitez for the 3rd time. John Salazzo 2 for 2 today. Takes outside, 1-1. John Salazzo now 5 for 11 in this first round playoff series. Inside, 2-1.
No question. Leafs could use some runs in this spot. 4, 5, 6, up for the Leafs. Salazzo's been red hot. Connects. Lewis both have had big moments in this matchup.
The 2-1. Salazzo takes way inside. Ball 3. John Salazzo may have been taking all the way on those last 2 pitches.
That 3-1 is a batter's count. An opportunity for him here to get something he likes, but at the same time, take a base on ball and pass the stick off to connect.
Outside, ball 4. John Salazzo heads down to first base, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have the first runner on in the bottom of the 5th.
This might just be the way this game is from here on out, in terms of guys get on base and you have to capitalize because the other team's capitalizing. And if Connect gets on here, might be the end of his night. You might see Evan Souls as Baycats manager Josh Matlis right up against that dugout now. Really keep an eye on in this at bat. See what Benitez has in this game.
Marcus Connect has been arguably the best hitter in this series, aside from maybe Ryan Rio. Probably Ryan Rio.
Rio's been the best bat in this playoff matchup, to say the least. Home runs in 3 straight days.
A Connect on pace to hit way over 500 in this first round playoff series. 1 for 2 today. The one, an RBI single. Now he's in a favorable count against Juan Benitez. 2-0. Ball lined into the outfield. That is through for a base hit. Marcus Connect is 2 for 3. And the Maple Leafs have the first 2 on for Connor Lewis.
And I fully expect the Baycats to bunt in this spot. That's Andrew White coming out, not Josh Matlos. That will not be the end of Juan Benitez's night quite yet. The Maple Leafs, it's locked. They're going to bunt in this spot with Lewis. But there's 2 things you have to make sure of, because yesterday the Leafs had a spot, first and second, nobody out, and they bunted to try to get Topley over to third base. But Topley ended up getting thrown out at third base. So you have to make sure when you bunt, it's not going to be down first baseline. It's down the third baseline. You have to make sure that third baseman comes in on the ball. You can't have the third baseman stay at third base and the pitcher or catcher throws to him. But even then, I don't love the idea of bunting in this spot, because it's second and third, 1 out, and Benitez has shown in that spot in this game that he has escapability and his ability to strike guys out. So I let Lewis be in this spot, but I expect a bunt.
Connor Lewis has been asked to bunt on multiple occasions. On deck.
It needs to be a bunt down the first baseline.
On deck is Dan Mara, hit .340 in the regular season, and he's kind of the Tyler Plumpton-like guy. The Toronto Maple Leafs, a little bit more pop, but...
And I'll say, as we just go on here, Hamilton's up 6-2 on Guelph, so we were on full upset alert, and what would be one of the great shocking upsets in recent IBL memory of Hamilton can take a 2-0 series lead. Lots of baseball left, but
a series that Claudio Custodio has still not appeared in.
He can't. He's on too much short rest. He'd be lucky to pitch tomorrow, although I'm sure they'd ask him if they're down 2-0. And the whole idea for Benitez to do that in that spot is not to throw out Salazo, but to see, of course, if Lewis is showing bunt.
He didn't budge.
No.
But I'm still not convinced that he's not bunting. Yeah, he is bunting. Squares around. Now he's going to take the pitch for a strike.
He's one of that. I would say, what's Hack coaching these guys right now? But
Takamatsu's playing too many video games.
The issue is it's first and third. Those guys are so in right now. It's going to be tough.
Lewis squares to bunt, takes a strike. Didn't like it.
Yeah, Lewis pulled back thinking, okay, I got ball 2, but counts even at 1. I let him swing.
It's an interesting pickoff move. Whip the leg back.
I don't think that was Philly Salazo or Connect at first.
John acknowledged it. He said, I'll take a few steps back. Now bunting is Connor Lewis, and it's bunted foul. Lewis was running out of the batter's box almost before he made contact with the baseball.
And now he's down 1-2, so that bunt's officially off. He's down 2 strikes, so he got to have strikeout ability. So
Juan Benitez got Connor Lewis to strike out in his last at-bat. Connor Lewis does not want to do that again.
Pitch number 85 coming up for Benitez. And definitely his last inning outside of getting 3 outs in the next 10 or so pitches, which is possible.
1-2. Swinging a ground ball to third base. This could be 2. Throw to seconds in the dirt. Whipped onto first in time. Double play. Wow, a miracle turn of a double play. Throw from third baseman Owen Jansen was on a hop to Roy Sandeau, who sidearm slung it over to first. And the Baycats get 2 big outs.
Yeah, down 1-2 in the count. You just have to get that bunt down if you're Lewis. If you're going to bunt in that spot, you have to get it down. He didn't. Now it's going to take a 2-0 hit from Dan Marr, and you need to capitalize in this spot.
Topley on deck. Mara takes up and away. He'll have the green light to swing the bat if he gets something that he likes. Outfield is played relatively far in. Maybe knowing that Dan Mara has a single on his mind.
Mara's having a bit of a tough first-round matchup, but 1 hit here from him, 1 for 7. He can 0 for 2 today, and he can do something here and get the Leafs the lead again.
1 for 7, cashed in a run with that 1 hit. He's also walked 1 time, only struck out once. Mara takes high, 3-0.
I'd consider 3-0. If it is a fastball down the pipe, you can get bat on the baseball and find some grain.
3-0 pitch. Thought high or upward part of the strike zone, 3-1. Mara over the outside corner, thought it was ball 4. He's going to have to stay in and now battle in a 2-strike count against Juan Benitez. 3-2.
Might be his last pitch of the game, one way or another.
Topley watches on from the on-deck circle. Runner on third base, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. This one's to shortstop. Royce Ando gobbles it up, throws on to first, and Juan Benitez and the Barrie Baycats escape the jam. And we are tied at 4 here at Dominico Field. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Ryan Rio coming up as the leadoff man, and he hits the ball in the air, foul down the right side. That had home run distance, but it was just foul.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how you can pitch him at this point. I almost let him pitch outside, and if he wants to take a base hit down third baseline, let him, because I don't know how you're getting him out otherwise. He's a man on a mission right now.
0-1. Fouls it off, 0-2.
Just has to hit it. He hits the door across the street.
He hits the window in the door.
Yeah.
On someone's house. That was...
We'll send him the receipt.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well.
Pitch is high, 1-2. That would be a real bummer if your front window just shattered.
I'm not buy a house across the ballpark, though. That's my thing.
Yeah, don't buy a house across the... Don't... Check who's in the batting order before you buy a house, I guess.
Benicio won that call at shortstop. Doesn't get it.
Two. Just misses again. 3-2.
That's good. Getting squeezed a bit. Well, Ryan Rio perhaps earned that strike zone given the way he's hit in this first 3 games.
Will he give him something to hit? No. Up and away. Ball 4. Ryan Rio heads down to first base.
And that's almost a success at this point for Deska. Well, Brantley Infante has power, can make it a 2-run Baycats lead with 1 swing.
Fonte squaring to bunt, takes it way inside. Ball 1. And Fonte hits one in the air to center field. Connor Lewis tracks back a couple steps, makes the catch, one away.
With Deska generating swing and miss throughout the regular season, he's got 2 Ks. Nothing bad. There's lots of Bs up here.
If anything happens in the broadcast booth, you'll know about it.
Oh yeah,
Ryan will tell you.
I'm hoping about it.
Jake Wilson's the batter, 1 away. Runner at first base is Roy Santo. Not a huge speed threat at first.
That's an understatement. He did steal third base last season though.
Really?
When I was with the Baycats, yeah, he against Brantford.
Was the shift on?
No, they had a play on him. He got a great jump.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Wilson pops it up left side. John Salazzo will just avoid toppling over the fence.
That's what was happening.
1-2 count on Jake Wilson. He's struck out 6 times in this series already.
He's still that guy, though, that with 1 swing can, well, in this case, give the Baycats a 2-run lead because he has power. Yeah, former Boston Red Sox draft pick himself, and he's got ability to get on base, to say the least.
1-2, way inside, almost hit him. 2-2. Eric Deska has been able to get ahead of batters. It's just about putting him away that's been the issue.
23 strikes, 19 balls. A lot of those strikes, as you mentioned, come early in the counts.
Fouls it straight back.
Fan tried to make a catch, and he
okay.
didn't make it. And almost got hit in the head by it, actually.
Wilson off to a slow start in this playoff series. Would love to keep the line moving here for the Barrie Baycats. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He fouls it back once again. Give him another souvenir to the front yard of the person who lives behind home plate.
Yep. Great at-bat by Wilson. His best at-bat yet here in the playoffs.
Another 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside corner, just missed. 3-2.
You can see Mara try to bring that one in. A bit to the outside, umpire doesn't buy it. Rio, I highly doubt will be on the move, but you never know if the Baycats do want to get interested here.
3-2 is popped up. This one is going to be out of play down the left side.
A great at-bat by Jake Wilson. Deska just not getting that swing and miss right now.
Adam Odd is on deck. Odd is 0 for 2. Wilson 0 for 2 as well. Foul back by Wilson.
The 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Wilson walked 23 times in the regular season. Trying to find a way to get on base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Merrick Deska gets Jake Wilson swinging, and he might have got a little help from a bird that fluttered right by his hand when he threw that pitch.
How do you not call time if you're Jake Wilson? But if you're Wilson, maybe you hope that at bat can give you some confidence heading into the next at bat and one after that, because that was a nice at bat, the best at bat by Baycat in this game, outside of Ryan Rio's 3-run home run after fouling back a couple pitches.
I'm not kidding. That bird looked like it was feet behind Merrick Deska. That may have helped in the distraction of the eye.
If he came any closer, we would have had a Randy Johnson moment.
No.
Topley can clean that up.
If I'm Jake Wilson, though, that's got to be extremely distracting as a batter.
I absolutely would have called time. I mean, even the umpire, he'd understand.
It was so late. It was so late. He was already in the windup.
But that is actually part of the game plan for the Leafs. We make sure that they've got some crows and birds.
Yeah, that was a messenger bird sent from the Bushman.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's the 1-1. Up and away, 2-1.
Awesome.
17 games in the regular season from Adam Odd. Just 1 home run, 4 doubles. Fouls it straight back. That was a good cut. It's 2-2.
Lots of pitches for Deska in this game. 52 pitches to be exact. I'm not sure if I needed my calculator.
30 plus 22.
Yeah. Well, at the time it said 29. I never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that changes things.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Merrick Deska gets Adam Odd swinging and gets out of the 1-on with nobody out situation. Leaves Ryan Rio stranded at first base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-4 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Barrie Baycats. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Damon Topley leads things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Juan Benitez is coming back on the mound.
Yeah, he's just under 100 pitches, so it's not crazy, but this is going to be his last inning for sure. And you now see Aiden Russell up in that Baycats bullpen. At least have a line of lefties coming up, beginning with Greg Carrington. So that'd be a big spot for Russell, though.
Pitches over the inside corner, 1-1. Let's take a look around the Intercounty Baseball League. The Guelph Royals and the Hamilton Cardinals are playing. It's still 6-2 Hamilton. They played some small ball and got 6 runs in the 4th inning.
Yep. So if they go down 2-0, do they go to Claudio on 3 days rest to try to avoid elimination? But
I think you just have to. Topley pops it up. This one's shallow center field. Coming over and making the catch is Jake Wilson. Just one away. Greg Carrington will bat. Jose Vinicio is on deck.
Two guys up in that Baycats bullpen, Russell and Evan Souls.
Topley now 1 for 3 with the fly out. Carrington had what would have been a double in any other ballpark. Swing to misses 0-2, but had to settle for a single as he hit it down the line off the wall.
Benitez might be getting better here as the game goes on.
0-2 from Juan Benitez. Here comes. Just outside. Carrington officially 1 for 2 today. This is the third time he's seeing Juan Benitez. And then he'll be back to the top of the order for round 4 of this Maple Leafs lineup against Benitez.
Pitch number 99 coming up for Juan Benitez.
Here's a little chopper hit to first base, but it's going to bounce foul.
And obviously now pitch number 100, and that's obviously he's coming to your board to his end. But if you told Baycats that he'd be leaving in a 6-6 game, or excuse me, 4-4 game, and after 6 innings, they take that and obviously hand it off to their bullpen with Brandon Hillier and Souls and Russell, and see what they can do. Perhaps Chris Cox.
Greg Carrington's a guy that you just can't highlight enough in this season. Started off, well, actually had quite a slow start to the season as this one's hit on the ground. Fielded by Roy Sandeau. Throws on to Adam Odd, and there's one away. But Greg Carrington just battled back with that batting average throughout the season and remarkably finished the year hitting over 300, just taking his at-bats, going 1 for 3, 2 for 5. Yep. 1 for 3 today.
He's that Staples, at least second leadoff guy, and right now just trying to solve Juan Benitez. He's about to have his second clean inning in a row.
Benicio calls time, and it was late. Just as Juan Benitez was getting into his windup, now he'll have to shake it off. I almost wonder if that was tactical by Jose Vinicio. He swings and fouls off the first pitch.
Benitez can get Vinicio. I expect Russell to come into the 7th inning to face lefty, righty.
Outside, 1-1. Pitch goes to the backstop. Jose Vinicio had 46 hits in the regular season. 3 hits in game 1 and really started that turning point. Game was tied 3-3, got a single after a good at-bat, then stole second and third base. And the Maple Leafs would go on to tack on a run after Jose Vinicio scored, but that was all they needed. They won 5-3 in game 1, 6-3 in game 2. That one swung on and missed by Jose Vinicio. The count's 2-2. And, Vinicio's been somewhat of a spark plug for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this series.
He can get on base with 2 out. You never know what can happen.
Ball hit on the ground. Big high hop for Roy Sandeau. He throws on to first. And how about Juan Benitez? He gets through a clean inning in the bottom of the 6th. Still tied 4-4 at Dominico Field. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. He's out there. He's not throwing any deep balls. I think there's We do not usually go through what? Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Thomas West, Ryan Eakin here. James Anderson will lead things off against another inning of Marek Deska.
And the Baycats are throwing 3 up, 3 down innings, clean innings. They're putting up donuts. So Deska has to do the same thing in what really now is the bullpens.
Anderson hammers one down the right field line, and it's going to be a
Sure
fair ball off the wall. Anderson stops at first base, somehow keeping that ball fair. That's a leadoff single, and a loud leadoff single for Anderson. Here's Tyler Plumpton.
And nobody up in this Baycats bullpen, but at least bullpen, but Baycats can get going again, bottom half of the lineup. You see what they can do at the top half, but even then, the bottom half has been responsible for a lot of their success this, well, not only matchup and game, but all season with guys like James Anderson and Tyler Plumpton.
It's a small bird.
Yes. Yeah, it's in the middle.
In front of home plate. Plumpton's bunting.
Go
The
to
bird
second.
gets out of the way. Throw to first base is on the money. One away.
They had to play at second base, and Vinicio wanted it, but Deska takes it for sure out. But that brings up a guy like Carson Burns, and after him, Owen Jansen. If Burns can't bring him home, they can give the Baycats a lead. The first time all series. I think I would have gone second in that spot, but can't blame Deska for taking the automatic out.
Yeah, well, the golden rule on a bunted ball is get it out somewhere.
Yeah.
Carson Burns hit a solo home run to tie the game at 4 in his last at-bat. That home run came in the 5th inning. Carson Burns is the shortstop today for the Barrie Baycats. Burns wasn't here in game 1. Owen Jansen was filling in for him. He's back to third base today. And time called as Marek Deska just floats that ball to the backstop. Didn't know that Justin Morrow was coming out to the mound to talk to him. Morrow's had a good night behind the plate. Caught Brant Fianfonte stealing. That was back in the 2nd inning. Burns hits it in the air again, this time not deep. Coming in is Marcus Connect. He makes the catch. James Anderson retreats back to second base. And there's 2 away for Owen Jansen.
And now we obviously the Baycats seen Deska for the 2nd time, and Owen Jansen's a guy that can, one, he has power too, so he can hit a base hit to give the Baycats the lead, but he also can make this a 2-run game with one swing. There is a base open and a better matchup on deck, righty with Royce Ando, but
yeah,
not an easy out here for against Jansen. You don't put him on base, but you pitch around him.
Over the inside corner for a strike.
This might be his last inning. I think they might go Nagorski 8th inning, perhaps Franklin Hernandez 9th inning, but we'll see how that goes. This might be Deska's game to take home if he does eventually allow a lead. The Leafs won't use Hernandez if they're losing this game.
Yeah, Deska's at 58 pitches. He's been throwing a lot of strikes. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. Now Marek Deska would be wise to try and maybe starting nibbling the corners a little bit about Owen Jansen at least. And
well, you can't give him anything he likes. 0-2. Anderson running on contact, comes home from second base on any base hit.
0-2. Deska trying to get out of the inning. Pitch is way outside, 1-2. Royce Ando on deck, and then Ryan Rio if it gets that far. 1-2. Here's a ball hit on the ground to second base. This should get him out of the inning. Throw on to first, and that will do it. Well, this has been a fantastic ball game. Once again, that's what we've been treated to here at Christie Pitts. 4-4 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Barrie Baycats. We head to the bottom of the seventh inning. The bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Back here at Dominico Field in Toronto, Ontario, it's Thomas West and Ryan Eakin. It's Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Leading off is Justin Mara.
Brandon Hillier up in that bullpen. The Baycats, he's their best reliever, so given Benitez no pitch into the seventh, he's the guy they can go to now.
First pitch is fouled off by Mara.
Mara, Castaldo seeing him now for the fourth time. Have to get to him.
0-1, now 0-2 on Mara. Brandon Hillier hails out of Orangeville, Ontario. Good regular season for the Barrie Baycats.
Ooh. Yeah, Hillier is not even close. He's easily the Baycats' best reliever.
4.82 ERA, 16 games, all of his appearances in relief, 18 2/3 innings, 22 strikeouts for Hillier. Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout for Juan Benitez, who has just been rolling. Yeah. He's getting stronger as this game goes on. One away.
It's not what he's known to be. Someone gets better as the game goes on, but this is quite the performance right now, and he's breezing through the Baycat or the Leafs lineup no matter who it is. He's breezing through the Leafs lineup 1-9.
So that was pitch number 100 for Juan Benitez to strike out Justin Mara.
Are you sure it's not over 100? 66 plus, or now 67 plus 44?
Yeah.
Did I miscalculate? No, he's over 100 pitches.
Oh, yeah, well over 100, I guess, yeah. Hey, look who's bad.
Yeah, because I was looking at it saying, okay, well, wait a minute, though. 60 plus 40 is 100. And he's at 66 strikes and 45 balls.
So it'll be 110, yeah.
Yeah, getting better as the game goes on.
Jordan Castaldo with a 2-0 count. Fouls it back. Big cut at that one. What if Jordan Castaldo has home run on his mind here? Just missed one in his first at-bat. Put it off the wall in left field. There's no one on, one out.
I think you just got to focus, get on base, have some faith in Solazo, have some faith in Marcus Connect.
Pitch is way inside 3-1.
If that's a base on ball, then it's a base on ball. If it's a hit, it's a hit. If it's a home run, it's a home run. But just get on base.
That's the Jordan Castaldo philosophy right there.
It's also the Ryan Eakin one, too.
3-1. Fouled off. Castaldo not shy to try and get on base via the hit. He will take whatever he gets from Juan Benitez. Castaldo 1 for 2. Fouls it straight back.
Pitch number 6. The at-bat coming up. 69 strikes, 47 balls.
Benitez steps off. 38 walks in the regular season. Just got his first one of the series. Did Jordan Castaldo this game. Now he hits one in the air. This one's deep to right field, and it sends Brantfy Infante right to the wall, and he makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
He crushed it. He had the exit velocity, but almost right at Brantfy, and Benitez is 1 out away from going through 7.
This guy might have home run on his mind.
Yeah, I think now 2 out. You got to be swinging for the fences if you're Solazo. Sit fastball. You got to think that fastball is going to be dipping in velocity at some point in this game, given how many pitches Juan Benitez is at, easily passing the most pitches he's ever had in the IBL. Perhaps stick a fastball in that pitch, but swings through a breaking pitch.
Solazo is 2 for 2 today with a walk. Yeah, it's another B. There's been a lot of them.
Yeah, we never had any B issues. You got other issues, but not a B issue, except for today.
Is it a rally B?
We'll see. The rally skunk has been our thing.
Yeah.
Came out in the 7th
inning. That was kind of a thing, though.
100%.
Yeah. Solazo fouls it off.
It's a half swing.
Yeah, he
still
thought better of it halfway through, but still fouled it off.
Benitez 1 pitch away from giving the Baycats everything they could have potentially wanted in this game. It was 2-0 before he even got an out, but
Solazo takes low and away in the dirt.
He has settled into having quite the night.
One, 2 from Benitez, just outside. Swing and a miss, strike 3. What a start for Juan Benitez. 7 innings, gives up the 4 runs, but 3 scoreless innings to finish this one out. And what we think might be his last pitch, but who knows? 4-4 between the Barrie Baycats and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this is an elimination game. Toronto leading the series 2-0. Marek Deska coming back on the mound. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Dominique Field here in Toronto, Ontario. It's 4-4 between the Barrie Baycats and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Game 3 of this best of 5 series here in the first round of the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs. It's the number 4 seed Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the number 5 seed in the Barrie Baycats. 2-4 batters coming up.
Have to get Ando here. Have to have one out, nobody on base for Ryan Rio. As Nagorski's up in that Maple Leafs bullpen and has been up for a bit, so he's ready to go if needed. But Ryan Rio took Nagorski deep last night.
Here's the ball hit in the air to center field. This one's crushed. Connor Lewis goes back to the wall, and it's gone. Royce Ando gives the Barrie Baycats the lead. It's 5-4 in the top of the 8th.
Second time seeing Deska take full advantage. And, they got the home run from Ryan Rio, but they've gotten home runs from Ando and Carson Burns, 2 guys that don't hit home runs. And the Baycats are in control, and that's going to do it for Deska.
So maybe just one too many batters for Marek Deska, although this one is still very much undecided. But now the Toronto Maple Leafs have their backs against the wall here against the Barrie Baycats. Barrie Baycats trying to stay alive in the series and turn the series back over to Barrie. So Chris Nagorski is going to be the new pitcher into the game, and we're going to take a short break. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Woodbine Racetrack called the bullpen to Chris Nagorski and had 2 strikeouts yesterday, but did suffer the solo home run to the guy who's at the plate right now in Ryan Rio, and this will be a rematch from yesterday. Nagorski takes over the outside corner for strike 1. Brant Fianfonte is on deck.
Leafs can't allow any more runs in this game. The offense a little lifeless in this one after a nice beginning. So Nagorski and whoever comes in after that, as Nagorski's likely a 1-inning guy, gonna have to put up some donuts so that gives the Leafs an opportunity offensively to take this game.
Yeah, by this time in the game yesterday, the Toronto Maple Leafs had 15 hits. Fouled back, and Ryan Rio thinks he missed one there. It's 1-2. Five runs on 8 hits for the Barrie Baycats, 4 runs on 8 hits for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Chris Nagorski is trying to get them through this top of the 8th inning. Big swing and a miss. This time, Nagorski gets Ryan Rio. And there's one away. How about that for a little redemption story from Chris Nagorski?
Well, yesterday was first pitch, and Rio hit it out, and Nagorski and Rio were both teammates, and Nagorski just said, like, I didn't think he was going to be sitting on that first pitch that I was wanting to throw to him, but he was, and he hit it out. But no, it's a great start for Nagorski, who has to throw a 3 up, 3 down, or at least not allow any runs.
And this is not an easy part of the lineup. Now it's Brantford Infante, who wasn't great in the regular season, but has been great in the first 2 games of the playoffs. And then Jake Wilson's on deck, the center fielder. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That one buckled the knees of Brantford Infante just a little bit. Counts 1-1. Nagorski working quickly. Here it comes. Another breaking ball. Just misses inside. Tries to go a little bit further inside that time to Infante. Infante 1 for 2 with a walk. Pitch is way outside. Toronto Maple Leafs scored 3 runs in the fourth. 2 runs in the first, then 1 in the third. And the Barrie Baycats got 3 runs as this one's hit down the line. Whoa. Foul into the Toronto Maple Leafs dugout. Look out. Big 3-run home run in the top of the 4th inning by Ryan Rio. Maple Leafs answered to take the lead, and then a solo home run by Carson Burns to tie it at 4. As this one's inside and it hits Brantford Infante. He's going to head down to first base.
And it brings up Jake Wilson, who, has had tough series. There's no doubt about that, but he came up with his biggest at-bat yet, his nicest at-bat yet. Last time up, he fouled back a bunch of pitches, so we'll see if that can turn around this playoff matchup for him.
Brantford Infante reaches first base for the 3rd time in this game.
And he's got speed, there's no question.
Guy at the box is no different. Jake Wilson. Infante a big lead. Swing and a miss by Wilson.
A bit surprised Lazo's playing back. There is 1 out, so Wilson would not be bunting to get on base, or to give himself out, but he could have bunted down the 3rd baseline, likely get on to first base with ease.
0-1. Another swing and a miss. Couple breaking balls from Chris Nagorski, and he's out in front of Wilson, his former teammate. 0-2. Go around, pitches low, 1-2. Pitched 20 innings in the regular season at an ERA of 6.75. Check swing foul off by Wilson. Struck out 15 batters and gave up 28 hits in the 20 innings pitched. Throws a lot of strikes, though. Walked just 5 batters.
Yeah, and if you really take away his games, he just pitched an absolute blowouts against the Panthers. He had a nice little season, but close games, it was great. But otherwise, he was not able to really pitch in those mop-up spots.
Infante fakes like he's going, and now he's going to earn himself second base anyway, as Justin Mara has to go grab it behind the plate and fakes Infante back to second.
Now a base hit away. The Baycats will have at least 2 opportunities to do so.
Yeah, Chris Nagorski's game log is just a bunch of zeros, and then 4 runs against the Guelph Royals on the 24th in an inning pitched, and then a couple runs against the Kitchener Panthers on July 6th. It's games like that that really inflate the ERA.
Oh, yeah.
Nagorski hoping this is one of the clean innings, but this one's going to bound through the right side. Marcus Connect is going to come up firing to home plate and hold Brantford Infante at third base. The Barrie Baycats are really threatening to take a 2-run lead here in the top of the 8th. Just 1 away, and first and third is where the runners stand.
And Nagorski, he needs a double play, right? I mean, double play, strikeout. He'll take anything he can get at this point because that run from third base can't really come in.
So there's going to be a meeting on the mound with all of the infielders are going to talk about this next batter. It's Adam Odd, one of the best average guys in the regular season on the Barrie Baycats. Adam Odd put the ball in play a lot. Struck out just 2 times in the regular season, walked just 5 times. This could be a double play candidate.
Base hit here really opens this game up. Obviously, ball in the gap definitely opens this game up, but you want to keep it, close for the Leafs offense. That is one swing away.
Pitch is way outside. Justin Mara looks Branfi and Fonte back to third base. James Anderson is on deck. Which is over the inside corner. Strike one.
Trying to sell that one.
Was the play to try and step into it to make it look more inside?
I mean, see that though. I don't know if you're fooling the umpire really in that spot. Maybe you get a call maybe like that at home, but on the road it's tough.
Nagorski lobs a throw over to first base, and
Wow.
that is going to be a balk. It will to the plate. Justin Mara is highly disputing it.
I didn't see a single thing. And that is a massive run if they don't overturn this one, which it doesn't really seem like they have any interest in doing so.
As it stands right now, the Barrie Baycats are going to take a 6-4 lead. Garrett Takamatsu is out of the dugout to talk about this one.
Well, I think they're going to talk about it here because I just don't think that the first base umpire, I think he saw something that really no one else did.
So Garrett Takamatsu went over and asked the second base umpire to talk about it with the rest of his crew, and they are going to have a discussion because this is a really big run in this ball game.
You have to get this one right, one way or another. And there's the stance.
No, they're going to send him back.
Gotcha.
They're going to send him back.
Yeah, I think that's right call. There's just nothing there. Matt can come out. I mean, obviously, seek clarity as to what made them overturn it, but what made them overturn it was that there was no balk, right? As a throw back is at no point was he in motion.
Yeah, I didn't see anything at all. It was weird that Chris Nagorski lobbed the ball like a fly ball to first base.
And that kind of stuck him obviously off an umpire, but that doesn't make it obviously a defensive mistake. So, or in that case, a balk. So, and Mara said it instantly.
Yeah, the Barrie Baycats dugout will not be happy with this call just because of the nature of it.
But at the same time, it doesn't seem like there's too much of an argument. But there's still a base hit away, so.
Yeah, still a really good situation for Barrie, but this does give the Maple Leafs a chance to try and stay within striking distance. 1-1 count to Adam Odd. The pitch is hit on the ground. This might be enough to score a run. Nagorski fields it. The run comes in to score anyway. Branfi and Fonte scores, and it's 6-4, Barrie Baycats.
And that was a big run. He really a double play or a strikeout, pop up, shallow fly ball one. And now it's really going to take the Leafs offense to get to Benitez and perhaps the Baycats bullpen.
Brandon Hillier is up, or was up. He could be ready to go. One of the few guys that's hard to get through in that Barrie Baycats bullpen as the pitch is fouled off left side.
And I expect Benitez, even though it's now a pretty long wait for him in between innings, to come out for the 8th inning, just because he hasn't allowed any base runners the last 3. It's tough to take him out, and I think you have to leave him in until he at least allows a base runner.
Pitch over the outside corner to James Anderson for a strike. 0-2 on the Barrie Baycats left fielder. Runner still at second base. Scoring position for the Baycats. Nagorski gets Anderson to foul it off. It remains 0-2.
There's no question we keep this game even somewhat close. You can't allow any more runs, 8th inning or the 9th inning for the Maple Leafs.
Nagorski comes in, has to face Ryan Rio again. He got him to strike out, but then the Barrie Baycats were able to tack together a little bit of small ball. End up getting a run home. Now time has been called by someone on the infield. I think someone was asking how many outs there were.
Yeah, so Lazo, yeah, I think the umpire got confused. Third base umpire and second base umpire letting him know.
Another 0-2. This one's hit in the air to center field pretty well. Connor Lewis moves over. He's there, makes the catch. And the Maple Leafs are out of the inning, but not before the Barrie Baycats score 2 and take a 6-4 lead. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here at Dominico Field. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Yeah, I see it. First pitch to Marcus Connect. He's in there, strike. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Juan Benitez, over 120 back out on the mound. Atlow is just riding the hot hand.
Yeah, we talk about Garces and what he did and what Angel Castro did. I mean, Benitez is every bit as decent, right? He's allowed 4 runs, yeah, but he hasn't allowed any since the 3rd inning. 4th inning. So he's been excellent for the Baycats. Excellent.
0-2. This one's hit on the ground to shortstop. Burns has it, throws to first, 1 away.
Like, he's simply not allowing any base runners.
This is becoming an incredible pitching performance here. Because Connect, that was the most dangerous hitter that he's going to. Juan Benitez might earn himself another inning.
I think you have to, right? I mean, I think if he allows the time to run to come to the plate, similar to Angel Castro, you might pull him, maybe. But even then, if Dan Marr gets on base here, it brings up Topley. He's not likely to hit a home run, so he might just keep playing the odds with Juan Benitez.
Pitch to Mara's in there for a strike. Almost had to take that one. With the first 2 getting down quickly.
He's not fooling anyway. He's got 5 strikeouts. He's allowing contact, but the contact is Not much.
Another strike. 0-2 on Mara.
We've lost track of the pitch count on point streak, but it's high.
Here's the ball hit on the ground to third. Big high hop for Owen Jansen. He whips it to first. Juan Benitez is dominating here in the last innings as he has another 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the eighth. We head to the top of the ninth. 6-4 lead for the Barrie Baycats. They would love some insurance runs for the guy who's been a star in this game in Juan Benitez. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD The Trust.